Hello and welcome to the show. We are here today on Forza Horizon 4 with another team adventure. Now for this one we are racing some B-class cars. However, these vehicles must be fitted with 2-litre or smaller engines. So we have a bunch of cars with fairly tiny engines going racing around a bunch of different tracks. Now I have a 205. This car has been seen before. However, I'm very curious to see how it's going to do in a different field. Theoretically, it should be quite quick here. This is the sort of track that is going to work for my 205. Why? Because it is more about speed. Not quite as much speed as the Morgan, perhaps, in terms of sheer straight line speed, but it is hopefully going to be fairly good. It's, of course, all-wheel drive, about 250 horsepower. It is on standard tyres, which isn't really the best of things for winter, so cornering might be questionable, but the rest of it, well, we're hoping, is going to be pretty good. Now, I'm going to try and not tangle with our teammates here as we move up positions. Longbow with the Porsche behind is having a look as we go side by side through here. Now, if we can keep the Porsche stuck behind us, that would be good. So that has a lot of grip. I don't know what, maybe on rally tyres? Some cars are going to be on rally tyres. The downside, oh, sorry teammate Morgan, it is going to come flying back past me down a straight, I suspect. Yeah, the downside of rally tyres, unless you have the Land Rover, the chances are your rally tyres are going to mean you have very little PI for anything else. You're probably going to be quite slow down the straights. But of course, you're going to have a huge advantage when we go off-road. I mean, you do normally, but especially in winter, you're going to have a colossal advantage. There goes the 205's natural oversteeriness kicking in. Oh, don't go to the outside of the Porsche. That's not a good place to be. That is not a good place to be at all. The Morgan's recovered. It found the wall at turn 1. Got to exit at turn 1. The Porsche wants to go underneath the Civic, and it might just make that one stick as well here. However, this is the part of the track up the hill. In fact, both of them were out wide. To use the power of the 205, we got to really not fight each other here too much. That could be the death of us, if I'm honest. I think I have a slightly quicker car than the Honda. He's slightly faster than me down the straight. I'm slightly better in the corners. Here we go. If we can get past the Porsche before turn 1, if somebody can get past, go, go, go. Cause grief for the tiny, lightweight, classic German car. We're almost 3 wide down there. Oh, well, okay, there was a little bit of a squeeze. There was a little bit more of a squeeze than I intended on doing, as I get all sorts of crossed up here. I'm going to have a lift. The Porsche is going to go around the outside of both me and the Morgan. This is a ridiculous battle. Brilliant. Oh, and there's a Lotus has come to join in the fun of the fight. This is insane. Oh, we're going to have a little lift through there. There's a Ferrari coming to join in as well, the 500. I'm actually really surprised to see that working in B-Class. Fair play. We're going to get the run up the hill here as the Civic. That is shifting. That's got to be similar style build to mine. It'll be all-wheel drive. If it's front-wheel drive, it would never get out of the corners. All-wheel drive power build on standard tyres. When we say power build, we are talking relative speaking. All-wheel drive means you won't get ridiculous power in B-Class. What is that coming down the inside? That's the Lotus. So we find ourselves in second place. It's not a clear second place, not by a long shot, but oh no, that corner, that's what gets me. That turn is the bane of this car's, well, this circuit for the 205. We did a cleverer thing this time against Longbow. We cut back to the inside, try and make life more difficult for the Porsche. Don't try and squeeze ourselves to the outside. The Civic found a fence and lost a bunch of speed down there. The Civic is going to be in trouble here. We're going to get to the inside. Now, that might have put the Civic out of contention just for this moment in time. It might come down to me versus Longbow here for the battle to the finish line. We parked the car on the apex. That's perfectly fair to do. Longbow was just trying to cut back underneath for the exit of the corner. The points have gone away from us, actually, with the Civic falling down a little bit, as has the Morgan. We could do with some car. It's close. It's not game over yet. One position will change this on the final lap. Oh, that was very wide through turn 1. However, the Porsche is not quite there. Don't slide the car. This time around, we do not get big oversteer moments. The Porsche is still looking. It's not got anywhere to find a way past, though. This is good news, because if the Porsche isn't passed now, it may dive up the inside here, but it doesn't matter. I say it doesn't matter, it will if it's really slow, but we're going to make the Porsche go the long way round. It can do that, it can try that if it wants. Here comes the acceleration of the 205. Porsche's going to try and shuffle us to the inside. It won't matter. We've just got to not do anything stupid in the final corner. Park it on the apex, that's what we needed to do, and we did. Points have swung back our way. There's a huge battle going on behind for second. What a fantastic first race in this adventure it has been as the 205 crosses the line. We take a victory for the Peugeot. That was ridiculous. Between me, the Morgan, the Porsche, the Elan, the Civic, swapped places so many times in that one. Bloody hell. That was an excellent, excellent race. Well done all involved. There was a little bit of bumping, there was a little bit of shoving around, and we won by 50 points in the end. What a mad time. What a mad time, what a glorious race. Let's try and keep that one up. So, up next, we head to Ambleside. Ambleside Scramble. Now, we had an unbelievable opening round. Here? Yeah. We're going to be all over the place. We have all-wheel drive. Is that great? Of course it is. Someone's going to have rally tyres. And there's a Land Rover around. That's got rally tyres. Hell, that on its standard tyres will be better than what I have here. So, we will see. Now, we're not going to be the worst car here. Something's going to be rear-wheel drive on less than good tyres. And in the snow, that isn't ideal. Wow, I don't turn, like, at all in this. Wow, there is just no turning. So, the Morgan, I would imagine, is in a similar boat to me. The Porsche might be rear-wheel drive rally tyres, maybe? I'm not sure. Could well be, judging by how well that's got out of these. Oh, got out of this section. Okay, red team is very much not for the off-road, barring one red car that apparently is. This is bad. Well, it's a good thing. So the way these adventures are set up is the same every time. Is that there are two dirt circuits, 3 off-road circuits. So if you have a team full of just rally cars, you cannot win the adventure. You can only win off-road, you can't win on tarmac. You cannot win the adventure. You have to be able to win on... So you have to be able to win on both. I guess if you have all tarmac sort of specific cars, you can do it, but then you run a big risk, because generally off-road cars are going to work a little bit on the road as well. So it's the system that works, basically. I would say anyway, as so far. However, sometimes, I don't know, when we start these, when we set this up, I don't know whose car is going to do what. So, yeah, sometimes you end up with very peculiar outcomes, shall we say. We're going to have a battle away with the Beetle. We're on the outside. There goes the Beetle. This is a fun little race. Sorry, I don't have any control. I don't have any control. My car is super unresponsive. It is not. I drive like a bloody rallycross car from. I've been playing too much dirt. No, that was a silly idea. Don't. Why did I think that would work on Forza? Doing the rallycross on Dirt 2 or Dirt Rally 2, there's a very, very different way to get speed out of the cars in that game, and it's not going to work on Forza. I wondered if chucking this about a little bit more. It's just you don't find speed in Forza that way. Certainly not with this car with these tyres. It was ambitious. I didn't have anything to lose at the end of the day. The Beetle, I presume, is on rally tyres as it's shot off. It was leading at one point, so it's got to be. Oh wow, we're getting 200 points at the moment. That's it. I'd like to try and catch the Elan. I would have thought my 205 would be better than the Elan, if I'm honest with you. I mean, we're better than the other 2 power monsters that we have going on here. We are better than the other 2 power monsters, which is something. However, it's not by a huge amount. It's actually by a huge amount, but it doesn't mean much when we're worse than everything else here. I don't think many people went for standard tyres. Probably understandable being winter. it's a big gamble. It makes my car very quick in 3 races, but it makes my car awfully slow in another. And there's always a chance. I mean, this one here isn't too bad. I'm desperately trying to catch up to the Elan. If I could get to the Elan, I think we could have a really good race. We lost too much time early on, stumbling around a bit. If I could get to it, we might even be able to nick 100 points from it. But yeah, it's very easy to get stuck into kind of no man's land, driving around, not being able to do anything because your car is so woefully unprepared for this. We've got a good run into here. There is a chance we might be able to do something. His final lap is looking a lot better from the 205, or a lot better start. Maybe the Elan made a little mistake, didn't quite get braking right into the first corner or something. I'm going to go very, very wide. Both of us are going very wide through here. Come on, Peugeot. You are a rally car. The Elan is a little circuit car. Pretty sure. Well, maybe someone's rallying an Elan. If it exists, it's probably been taken on a rally stage by somebody. So, well, it's already been tarmac rallies, let's face it. But not like this, I suspect. Come on, the Elan slides. The Elan got too much oversteer. We're going to sneak past on the final lap. That was a good battle. It's over 100 points. Red team have lost a really long way. But we had a fun battle over 8th place in the end. Yeah, the 205 is compromised. It shows at this circuit. But it won the first race. So, up next we head to the Greendale Club Circuit. Now, interesting track. This one, whenever we run it, say fairly similar thing. There's a long straight. Top end speed, good. There's a very fiddly back, rest of the lap, where handling is good. Makes for a tough place to know what sort of car you want. If you have enough straight line speed to make the most of the straights and you aren't too terrible through the corners, outright speed can work. However, if you have absolutely no hope in the corners, all the speed in the world won't save you. So there is a little bit of a balancing act going on here. I mean, we know how quick our car is. We know how quick our vehicle is in terms of the straight line speed. We also know how quick the Morgan is, we know how quick the Civic is, and the Elan is not bad either. Longbow's Porsche is the one to look out for, perhaps in terms of grip. It was the one that gave us the biggest threat at that first race, in terms of being able to carry enough corner speeds to make up the deficit for the power machines down the straight. I mean, maybe the Morgan is quick. I think the problem the Morgan might run into is the actual top end speed. So it's very, very quick accelerating because it's so small and light. So the Morgan can absolutely fire itself out of the corners because it weighs absolutely nothing. However, aerodynamic properties of it are not great. And it may top out. It may run out of actual top end speed. We'll have to wait and see on that front. Because cars like that sometimes do. Doesn't really look like it's going to be a big problem if it is going to be a problem. I think we are slightly quicker than it down the straight, of course, top end wise. But I don't think it's going to be quite enough. Can we be good enough in the corners? Points wise, it's super, super close. Points wise, it's really close. They're already 50 points to the good here. Now, I think Clark may have missed a checkpoint or may have been pushed out of a checkpoint. No, it's just maybe have a tough start to it, whereas I thought it was Spencer further back. Or Chrissy Clark further up the leaderboard. Why I might wonder if he missed a checkpoint. That is an absolutely lovely line. So we are definitely better through the corners than the Morgan. It's not a surprise. We have 4 wheels at the end of the day. We have maximum tyre widths on this car, which aren't too shabby. Here comes Longbow's Porsche. There's a Ferrari behind. There's the Elan somewhere in that group. We are a few more points up as vehicles fight further back. So yeah, we can tear away down this straight, but we have to. We absolutely have to go down here, because if we don't, Longbow will just annihilate us through the corners. We've got to stay far enough away that Longbow's Porsche cannot get us through the turns. Now, we can defend a little bit through the corners, and this is always the difficult with a handling car. I can defend in the corners, they can't defend on the straight. So we have that advantage. Now, if I'm going to beat Longbow, I could actually do with getting past the Morgan quickly. I don't know yet. Cody has actually realised that. That's very, very helpful team play right there. Cody has realised that the 205 is quicker here. The Morgan is good, of course, do not get me wrong. And the Morgan is going to cause potentially some pain for the cars behind it. But Cody realised that didn't want to slows down the Peugeot. I don't have a chance of beating the Porsche, so just lets it go, and we can hopefully run off. I think I am going to struggle against that Porsche, though. It looks like it's got enough speed not to lose too much time down this start-finish straight. We are going to have to be defensive. I don't know if I can defend solidly for 2 laps against that. I think it's got too much grip. We will have to wait and see. Yeah, I don't know if I can do it, because this is not enough acceleration zone. The Porsche can keep up its momentum. So the Porsche is getting its speed by just carrying, like maintaining its momentum. When you have, like a Broadway, you have these sort of 90-degree corners where you have to really slow down and then accelerate out the other side again. That's where the 205 can really come into its own with its power, with its traction. Around here, that Porsche is able to just maintain its speed through the corners, and oh, it's going to have a look. I should have covered the inside a little bit more. We actually slid up in front of the Ferrari. Yeah, that was my stupid. Longbow was always going to take the opportunity when I left the door just a little bit open. It was just open enough. Foolish by me. Yeah, that's gifted. Gifted the Porsche a very, very good opportunity, because I can't catch it by turn 1. We're going to be racing towards it. We can kind of have a throw, but it's not going to be enough. No, we can't. The Porsche's got too good of a brake. It's got too much grip. I mean, it was always going to be a very tall order holding off that car. Unless there is a mistake from that, I'm not sure. I'm not sure I have an answer to it. And there's going to be 50 points. We only need 50 points in this, although we have now just lost a position at the back of the field, unfortunately. It was within 50 points. Yeah, it was here where it all went wrong last time. I just left the door open a little, just a smidge too much. Just ever so slightly ajar, and Longbow found that, took that opportunity. Oh, Ferrari's actually going to go past as well in all of this. I might be able to get the Ferrari still on the run to the line, because it had a very wonky line on the exit there, which I believe we probably will here. There we go. There goes the power of the 205. Yeah, the Porsche had the combination. It was quick enough on the straights not to lose too much lap time, and then just so much faster in the turns. Well, it was looking close for a while for Red Team, but then fell apart a little bit at the end. A good battle nevertheless. So, up next, we're back off-road. Mortimer Gardens Scramble will be the circuit of choice here. And we have a full team. Fantastic. Now, of the dirt circuits, this isn't as bad for me. Of the possible dirt circuits, it isn't the very, very worst. However, I mean, it's still not going to be the... Still not going to be great. Still not going to be great at the end of the day. There's a lot of snow. There's a water splash. The tarmac that there is here is covered in snow. We're going to be doing the Battle of the Bad again. Well, the Battle of the not off-road tired again, I believe. I hope the car that's now finally got connected on our team does have off-road tyres. It would be nice. You know, we have the all-wheel drive launch. Great if we're doing a drag race. We're not. We're definitely not. Someone else is going for my sneaky... I say my sneaky line. I don't see it used very often. There is a really big inherent risk for taking it, but I believe it is a smidge faster of an option. Oh, hello, Nissan. Don't mind me. The just sliding across the snow because no one has any grip. And there isn't any water, of course, because it is winter. It is all frozen over. And this does actually help me a little bit. So the other plus point I have at this circuit is not only are we on snowy tarmac is better than snowy gravel. Apparently the Skyline we have isn't on rally tyres. But good God, everything is so much slower than me down the straight. So what's leading? The Land Rover, I presume? Holy crap. So, yeah, the other advantage is, unlike at the Ambleside, where Ambleside, you are literally in the corners. You are very brave. I applaud the effort. There. That is super sketchy. Going around the outside of the car on standard tyres that is not working in the snow, that is very likely to understeer towards the wall completely unintentionally. There was space for a Ferrari, and they used every bit of that space for a Ferrari. But yeah, because this this section here is now just a straight line speed test. There is no water to slow the cars down, and the run to the start-finish line is also just straight line speed. That means this might not be the worst. I've just got to be careful, but this might not be the worst track in the world for me. We can use the 205's acceleration, and it is an immense amount of acceleration here. We're going to shoot past. We're going to move back up into third place. Now, I don't think we can catch Longbow. That's fair enough. I was expecting to be fighting around for the sixth, well, not sixth even. I was expecting to be fighting around for that 8th, 9th position, maybe, depending on how things went. Whereas the Ferrari is looking to do that outside pass again. That time, though, I didn't hit the little guardhouse. We didn't lose time from that one. The grip difference from the cars is incredible. No, I mean that's you probably got more caught out. That was actually fair enough. I mean, yeah, I guess there was maybe they thought there was a bigger hit than that. That was a 100%. I would have said fair pass on that one. I lose the back end across the jump. That's not what I wanted to be doing at all. And Beetles come through. We're not winning this round. You know, it's not going to go our way. However, we're on the podium. We are on the podium with the 205. I can't believe I was never ever expecting that. We've got 2 more laps around. So, things to not do with this. Don't hit anything. Don't hit the wall. Definitely don't hit the monument. Don't spin it over those jumps that are horrible. We can kind of defend down here. Now, the Porsche will be wary of that next lap, or whatever car ends up behind me. It's going to be wary of how I drive that section. It's going to know that it's not going to get to the inside. It's going to have to go around the outside. Can it do it? Absolutely. Absolutely. That car could go around the outside of us, no problem. But it's how much time does it lose. Like, the Porsche's lap time is probably very similar to mine. It's just, of course, in completely different places we're getting it. And can it work it so that it's ahead of me by the start-finish line? Really, it has to get past me at turn 1, which I don't think it's going to because it's too far back. If it has to wait until further on in the lap, we're just going to out-drag it. Or I might miss a checkpoint because we slide the car around. A little bit more rear-end grip with this would be wonderful, but I'm working with what I've got. I can't actually remember even what suspension this car is on. It might not even have... It's certainly not on rally suspension. It might be on sport or street. I don't know. I don't actually remember, but whatever it is, maybe a bit of tuning, you could get a little bit more grip into the car. You could go for Forza Aero. Bloody hell, that adds PI on, and the build itself is pretty good. It just needs... I say the build. It's working. It's working for what it's supposed to do. I quite like it. And I like having a 205 that's actually usable. Really struggle to get a 205 be ever good in a Forza game whatsoever. And I love the car, and this one is working absolutely wonderfully. At the front, the Land Rover is going to win. There was never really a huge question in this one, particularly. The Porsche is going to get second again. I'm not surprised by that. I am very surprised to see the 205 cross the line. Third position. It gets on the podium for the standard tyre power, well, relative power monster. Relative terms we're talking here. The problem is, rest of it didn't go well for us. Rest of it really didn't go well for us in the slightest. We had a very fun race. The adventure's not gone our way, but I've had a lot of fun. So, we head to the Princes Street Garden Circuit for the final race of this adventure. Blue team have won. There is a chance for us to, as I get a little bit of redemption, we can make it 3-2, which is fairly respectable. I have a nice spot on the grid. Things to watch out for. Well, the Elan is starting on the front row for Blue team. We know that thing's quite quick, certainly quite quick launching. Now, Clark's Porsche is alongside us. That might like this track in terms of the grip, because, I mean, street circuit, you're going to want some grip for. There are straights that I can exploit the power of the 205. It's... yeah. We can certainly make life very difficult for a very grippy car if it gets sat behind us. It will have a tough time getting past. Oh, because... you know, it'll get alongside, Maybe it'll overtake us briefly, and then we just shoot them in the distance when we get to an acceleration zone. The Morgan might actually really like this track. It might work very well for the Morgan because it's so light, and with a good amount of power, it can just chuck itself out of the corners with relative ease, although it will be a handful getting it through these corners. As you can see, it's already off visiting the wall. Right, here we go. We will try and chase down the Elan. Sorry, I don't know whether you'll hear in the background Cass is meowing. I think he's after something. I don't know what he's doing. We've got Distracto Cats going on as well as we try and wrestle the 205 around the circuit. The Elan's got a little bit more top end than me, not by much. I think I'm a little bit better through the corners though in this one. So much bigger tyres on the 205. Not crazy. I mean, these aren't crazy tyres on this, but they are bigger than the Elan. The Elan's not going to get 3.2. The Elan with 325 tyres would be the most ridiculously filthy fast thing around a corner imaginable in this game. I mean, in real life it wouldn't work, but in this game where big tyres win, that would be a hell of a combination. At the moment, I'm surprised. Longbow may be stuck in a little bit of traffic back there with the Land Rover, Cody's, what's-it-called, Morgan. Clark is in that group as well with the other of the Porsches. I'm going to try and find a way. Doesn't look like we're going to be winning this round either, sadly. Oh, there we go. But we are right behind. We are right behind that Elan. We're going to try and be brave around the final corner. We're not past yet. We are closer than we were last lap. Do we have a big dive into turn one? Probably not. We'll let the Elan defend. If anything, I might be better off just trying to get it on the exit. Oh, buzz the limiter slightly accidentally there. Very noisy Elan. Very noisy. It makes me wonder if it's got a Honda engine in it, because that is one of the common swaps. The Honda engines are the noisiest engine in the bloody game. And that is a 2-litre engine, so it would be allowed. The Lotus is noisier than my car, which would generally suggest a Honda engine of some description. Oh, Cody's fallen back a little bit with the Morgan, proving just a smidge difficult to drive, I would imagine. So we're trying to set this up for a good run out of... So if it was faster on the way in, I was trying to get the good exit, although the Lotus has actually made a little bit of a gap to me this lap around. It's ebbing and flowing, this gap, really. The Lotus has done actually a very, very good lap. We're going to need a better one. Maybe I should have had a big throw up the inside. My plan had been to sort the car out for the exit of the corner. Yeah, go for that cutback on the run up the hill. We're definitely better at turn one than the Lotus. We're getting our car stopped and turned for the first corner, and we are much better up the hill this time. The Lotus was a little bit out of position there. Can I have a throw up the inside? No, definitely not just yet. Can't get the nose turned well enough through there, but we're right back on the bumper again. So yeah, all it took was a little mistake coming up the hill. All it was a tiny mistake coming up that hill. And we're immediately back there putting pressure on the Elan. Oh, it's not going to like this next transition. We can get alongside in the 205. Can we out-drag it here, though? This is where things get sketchy. The Lotus backed out. It didn't want to be on the outside. It didn't want to go too wide through there. Probably a sensible thing. I would have given it space as best I could, but it is very easy to get in trouble if you're on the outside. Although I run across the snow and we get the car sideways. Here comes the Elan. We've got one more lap to go. I will be defending into turn one. Now I know the Lotus is likely to want to try and cut back. It's going to want to try and get that drive on the exit. It can't do it. Land Rover's coming to join in the fun. This is where we were quick last lap around. Let's continue to do that this lap. Yeah, we are really... That's the one section. That's where we have speed over the Elan. Get it stopped for the hairpin. Get the 205 nicely through there. Run away. The Land Rover might even try and take second away. Our little fighting has caused trouble. Oh, Clark missed a checkpoint with the Porsche on the final lap. Ah, it's unfortunate. I mean, it says unfortunate. Blue team are still going to be winning this one. We have been neat. We have been tidy with the 205 through there, although a little wide on the exit, as did the Lotus. Actually thought I'd got that spot on. But yeah, apparently just a smidge wide on the exit we go. One last corner for the 205. We round this last turn. The Lotus cannot match us. Oh, the defender missed a checkpoint. I think the defender cut too much to the inside. What a fantastic race that was. Excellent race with Vic in that Elan. That was really, really good fun. Longbow comes home in third. Cody gets fourth with the Morgan. Well done for wrestling that thing around that circuit. That was excellent. That was absolutely excellent. And there we have it. And there we have it. Blue team are going to win the adventure 4-1. That being said, there were some truly fantastic races in that one. The 205 is excellent. It actually might be one of my favourite B-class cars that I've got. Even if this might not be the best setting for it, certainly with the snow, I do think it is one of my now preferred B-class cars. I'm very happy to have a 205 that I really quite like and is really, really quite working. So that's something. We didn't quite have the adventure, but I had some excellent, excellent racing. That, though, is going to be it for this video. If you'd like to sign up and take part in the next one of these, you can via our forums. There'll be a link in the description. Find the FailRace vs. the Community section, and you can sign up in there. That, though, is going to be it from me. Thank you all very much for watching, and until next time, a goodbye.